What's going on, Aces? Welcome back. Oh my goodness, I missed you guys. Y'all, your girl was down bad, okay? I was so sick. But I had a praying grandmother. Okay? And thank you so much. Let me just say, everybody, for still rocking with me. It has been months and weeks and Sundays. Okay. I feel like I missed all the Diddy stuff. Well, not all of it. I'm going to bring you guys a story later today. But I wanted to start off and kick off my return with some great news. Okay. The Central Park Five, better yet known as the Exonerated Five, they are suing Donald Trump for defamation. Now, their trial happened, you know, way back when, right, where they were accused of, essaying a jogger in Central Park, New York City. And Donald Trump took out a full page ad calling for the unaliving of these five young men. They were teenagers. And this happened back in 1989. So I was a baby when this happened. I don't even remember when it happened in real time, but just the fallout and everything that happened in regards to, how it impacted their life. There wasn't an adult present. These boys were essentially tortured, right? And they did nothing wrong. So they were exonerated, thank you, Lord. And Donald Trump was sued and they settled out of court. I'm going to bring you guys the Forbes article, but I just wanted to kick off my return with some good news and some justice because, that's something that a lot of people, myself included, feel like the world is in dire need of. So let's get into this story. It says the five men who were wrongly accused and convicted of a brutal New York City assault in 1989, now known as the Central Park Five, on Monday sued former President Donald Trump for defamation after he once again asserted that they were responsible for the crime and falsely claimed a victim had passed away during a debate with Vice President Kamala Harris last month. I don't know if you guys, I've been, keeping up with the debates and just the everything that's been going on politically, and I'll cover more political stories if you guys would like me to. But the things that Donald Trump says out of his mouth, and the fact that his running mate JD Vance, even during his vice presidential debate, didn't want to be fact checked, is so dangerous. There's so many people that take what these men say as gospel truth. Like they really internalize it, they believe it. They have this unearned social capital. And for them to be on such a, enormous platform, like for Donald Trump to call anybody a criminal is laughable. Sir, you have 34 felonies, not one, not two, you know what I mean? And him, posing as a McDonald's worker just recently was a mess. I don't even think you can get a job at McDonald's if you're a felon. That's what people were saying online. I don't know. It was a lot of back and forth. But the point is, if it had been anybody else that did half the stuff that Donald Trump has done, they would have been under the jail. And for him to continuously go after these young men, they were teenagers back then. They were kids. Now they're men. Like I, you would think that he would have learned his lesson, but no, he continues to go after them. So I'm glad that they're suing him because it's ridiculous. I hope they get him for every dime he has. Okay, so key facts. Antron McCray, Kevin Richardson, Raymond Santana, Corey Wise, and Yusef Salaam filed the claim against Trump in federal court in Pennsylvania Monday, claiming that the former president defamed them, painted them in an offensive false light, and intentionally inflicted emotional distress by making his claims on a national debate stage. you guys remember, what happened on January 6th. Like, there is such a huge number of people who are deeply affected by the words that Donald Trump says for just a myriad of reasons. But even the Republicans were essentially, they were like running from the Capitol. Josh Hawley comes to mind. He was, pumping his fist when he was in front of the mob, but behind closed doors, he was literally running for his life. Mike Pence was scared to even get into the limousine with the Secret Service because he was unsure, who he could trust. And essentially, he dropped out because his own, running mate on the ticket, Donald Trump, was trying to unalive his own vice president. This man is so dangerous, you guys. I mean, it blows my mind to think that he is the Republican nominee with 34 felony convictions. You're not even supposed to be able to vote if you're a felon in this country, and yet he's running for the highest office in the land. Some would arguably say, in the world, because we have the strongest military. In the United States is the richest country in the world as far as the GDP. But him putting a target on these men's back once again, that is ridiculous. Like, where is Merrick Garland? We have a United States Attorney General, and I'm telling you, it's been crickets. Donald Trump just says what he wants and does what he wants. And I feel like there's just no accountability whatsoever. They keep pushing his court dates back because of, the presidential. Please go out and vote. I'm recovering. I didn't want to let any more time pass. But I'm just like, man, like, it is so dangerous. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, blown away at the fact that he is once again putting a target on these men's back. This has been their entire life, where Donald Trump has just relentlessly come after them. It's ridiculous. I'm glad that they are standing up and suing, though, because it's dangerous. In response to a comment from Vice President Kamala Harris about Trump's lengthy history with the Central Park Five, I wish they would say Exonerated Five. Trump claimed during the debate that the group had pled guilty to the assault before changing their plea to not guilty, and said that they, quote, unalived a person ultimately. See, and that's the dangerous part. One, they were kids under duress, which is illegal. Two, they didn't do anything, and that was proven in court. And for him to just, stand 10 toes down on this lie, on this rhetoric, is just ridiculous. I mean, this man lies like a river, like a waterfall, and it goes unchecked. And people's lives are put in peril, put in danger because of it. It's so dangerous. Neither claim is true. The men never pled guilty to any crime associated with the attack. And the victim, Trisha Maile, who's now 64 years old, is still alive. It reminds me of Carolyn Bryant back with Emmett Till, And I'm just like, man, like, how long are we going to repeat these horrific, scenes where there's this victim and these, young men of color are painted as these villains that they're not. They're, in Emmett Till, just like the Exonerated Five, were teenagers and targeted, Like, this is ridiculous. This is just history repeating itself. The men maintained their innocence throughout the trial, conviction, and spent years in prison before they were exonerated in 2002, following the confession of the convicted R-word and unaliver Matthias Reyes. So even after a conviction and a confession, Donald Trump is still going after them. That's ridiculous. Trump has, in claims dating back to 1989, repeatedly asserted that the men are guilty of the crime and said during the 2016 presidential election, quote, "The fact that the case was settled with so much evidence against them is outrageous." They were teenagers. The only thing that's outrageous is that he continuously goes after these men, even, decades later, with the same vitriol and hatred that he continues to spew. The lawsuit asks for an unspecified amount of compensatory and punitive damages. Good, as they should. I'll link this article because the lawsuit essentially was settled for $41 million in 2014. I feel like they deserve even more. I'm glad that they got 41 million though. I feel like most of Donald Trump's money that he grifts from his following, a lot of it goes to lawsuits. He's constantly being sued, as he should, because he's putting people's lives in jeopardy. This is ridiculous. Yeah, he put out this ad in the newspaper in New York that said, "Bring back the unalive penalty and bring back our police." He loves the cops. And it's crazy because you are the only criminal that, in this whole scenario, a 34-time convicted felon. And that's just the convictions. We don't even know, what else he's done. But anyway, I'm so glad to be back, you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. I'll link this article. This is the lawsuit. I'm so proud of them for standing up, and I hope that they drain him for every dime. You guys, please go vote. Please continue to rock with me. Thank you so much for all of you who stay patient, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'll talk to you later. Take care, Aces. Bye.